Hi, welcome to taking a closer look at one of the flutes from my flute collection. This is from Woodsounds Flutes. Brent Haynes is the flute maker. He's based out of Utah now. And this flute was probably the first, what I'm going to call a higher end flute that I treated myself to. This was back in 2015 is when I received this flute. And this was what he was calling a Myrtle Burl Classic. The main flute body wood is Myrtle Burl. And in dealing with burled wood, the grain pattern goes all over the place and does quite a few things. This particular one has a rather large patch of turquoise back here. Two pieces of Myrtle Burl were put together to make the flute this long. And there's a little story behind this. This was the third attempt at making my Myrtle Burl flute, is how this one came to be. And Myrtle Burl is not as readily available as it was when he was offering these as a classic version. And so Brent Haynes has changed over to, I believe he's offering maple burl flutes in place of these now. And there's also been some other changes, which I'll talk about here. So this particular flute is in the key of E minor, has a natural burled end. So this instead of some natural ends aren't exactly natural. They're just cut and shaped to make it look natural. This is the actual end of the burl. And so you can see it's very jagged, pretty cool looking. Burl woods can be pretty delicate. So this is one I don't take with me very often. One of the little nubs did chip off of this since I've owned it. So I just need to be careful with it. This has a 1 1/8 inch bore diameter. For an E flute, it's a slightly bigger. I'm used to more of my E flutes being about a 1 inch bore diameter. So this is 1 1/8. The bore length, as best as I can measure, it's about 16 3/8 to the direction holes or the tuning holes positioned here, to about the center line of those from where I can figure out where the wall is. The block has a base of Nigerian Ebony. The bear, it's a darker kind of a reddish wood. I'm not sure what he was using. It just, whatever was available at that time, I think is what he was using. And it has a little turquoise heart line inlaid into there. The true sound hole is 1/2 inch wide, almost a 1/4 inch long, not quite, but just barely under a 1/4 inch long. And it has shoulders on the sides of the nest, and that helps keep the block positioned straight. The chimney has wings the full length of the true sound hole. It's about almost a ½ inch high, the back wall of that, and then it has a little angle on the wings. The mouthpiece is Manzanita Burl, Nigerian Ebony ring up here, 3 turquoise bands inlaid, a turquoise band inlaid around the joint here of the 2 different pieces of Myrtle Burl. And here's, oh, and this is his bear fetish. And here is the voice. Love this flute. This, as I said, this was received back in the year 2015. And back then, I think his flutes had a little cleaner, clearer tone, a little clearer sound. Now what I've heard in the last year or so, they've had a little more of a little extra noise in the clarity of the sound. They're not quite as clear as they used to be, and I haven't been quite as happy with those. There was a one period in particular, I think now, today, that most of that extra, I'm going to call them artifacts in the sound, I think most of those have now gone away. But there was a little time when I just wasn't as happy with the sound of a Woodsounds flute. The older ones, I love the sound of, for my playing style, beautiful flute, beautiful flute. They are, quite a few of them are a lot more expensive than what I can comfortably afford. And this one, like I said, it was a big treat to myself. Since that time, he's raised his price, I know, at least once, maybe twice, and I don't see a way that I could afford one of the Maple Burl versions of this anymore. And anyway, I'm very, very, very happy to be the caretaker of this flute. And this is one of my prizes. I enjoy playing this. One of the first flutes I grab when I'm trying to do something in the key of E, just because I love the voice. I love the way it responds to my playing style. So let me know what you think. I will include all of the contact information for Woodsounds Flutes down in the description below here. Let me know down in the comment section there what you think of the sound of a Woodsounds flute, this one in particular, because that's what we're looking at right now today. And what do you think about kind of his philosophy behind the way he makes his flutes? These are truly a work of art that sounds wonderful. So are you into a beautiful looking flute that goes with a beautiful sounding flute? Is that important to you? I love to see this wood grain and everything. It is, the burled woods, like I mentioned, is a lot more delicate, so you do have to be kind of extra careful with them. But I know a lot of people that do take these out when they're touring and things like that for some of their performing. This is one that as I mentioned before, I don't take it out very often anymore since one of the little nubs broke off down here. But it's still one of my favorite flutes. In the key of E, as I mentioned, this is the one I go to most of the time. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Looks-wise? Sound-wise? Thank you for watching the video today, and don't forget to subscribe so that you will know when I do post another video taking a closer look at one of the flutes from my collection. Don't forget to share it with your friends who like flutes, and or to be able to see some of my tutorials, my music videos that I post, all that type of thing. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.